New shit.
Look at us.
We got new shit.
I come back bearing gifts.
You didn't buy
I
anything.
did this. This is all me.
You didn't buy anything.
This is all me, actually. You have any proof?
This all him. Not actually.
Can we say a prayer? Because I miss you guys. Can we say
I
a
miss
prayer?
you too, bro.
We actually hate you.
Oh, that's
All right,
okay.
here we go. Here
All
come the
right.
joy.
Lead it, little
it
guy.
me?
I mean,
You
Jameer.
need-
All right, here we go. Father God. We just come to you. First of all, we introduced Mouse back to
Welcome
the
back,
family.
Mouse.
Welcome back, Mouse.
I didn't leave.
You did. We brought you back into the group, but thank you for providing us a platform where we can freely talk about things that are going on in our issues. Continue to bless our hearts, our mind, our spirits. In your name, we pray for strength and guidance. Amen.
Amen. That was a good one.
Black Boy Joy.
Ladies
Number
and gentlemen,
6.
we welcome you to another episode of Black Boy Joy, week 6. How do y'all do it? You do 5 plus 1? I do 3.
I do 3.
I do 3.
Yeah. Because I graduated in 06.
Y'all are not blood.
06.
Stop acting like it.
Okay.
We had the blood of Jesus.
Come on, somebody.
You
we
ain't
just
been.
pray.
When the last time you been to church?
That doesn't.
Nah.
You don't have to answer that. Doesn't matter because we are back for week 6. Week 6. However you want to do it, we're here for week 6, and we appreciate all our viewers. Appreciate all the people watching and asking questions. We're back. Black Boy
I'm
Joy.
excited.
I'm Mouse
That was a
Jones,
good show.
I'm Marcus Ivory.
Jameer Pond.
and we have another great episode for you. Before we get into that, shout out to our sponsors, Sassbox and the Seam Supreme products. Make sure you head over there and get you some of those good things. Sassbox has what does she got? She got a brunch coming up.
Yeah, she
has
has
a
a
brunch.
sass brunch.
Yeah.
That I can't
Jameer
make.
was not able to make, so I
She had it?
No,
No,
it's
she's
coming
having
up.
it.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
September
In DC.
24th in DC. So all our DC folks,
Turn
make sure
up.
you see me there. September
So are
24th.
wait, we're not going to be there together?
I
I'll
can't
be
go.
there. He can't go.
Why
He'll
can't
be-
you go?
I'll be in a conference in North Carolina.
Oh.
What conference do they have in North Carolina?
I'll tell you guys about
Carpenter
that
conferences?
later. No, it's a hip hop conference.
Oh. He dancing. He dancing.
Yo, if I see you in that Tupac G-string.
No, he got a
Wow.
tracksuit. He got a new tracksuit.
Oh.
It's hip hop.
First of all,
Where does he get his tracksuit? You
I ain't
think he gets
nobody.
a-
I
it's
ain't
a
nobody
14?
from Chicago.
It's a 4T or a 5T?
Kids R Us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Children's place.
Children's place.
You
get
built
the
like KC, Marcus.
Models have a children's section.
Do that.
Get it from Mo's.
But we appreciate you guys coming a week back. We are so happy we got another good episode ahead. I missed last week. Unfortunately, I was on the road. Shout out to Chevy for that.
They got the bag for us?
Yeah.
What'd you bring back?
Where's our?
Me.
Where's our bag?
Me. I brought
Nobody
back.
wants you to fuck that.
I brought back a
Oh,
more
air freshener?
cultured me.
Ain't nothing about you cultured.
Well, after my
You got a
trip to
ski
Pitt-
mask on the end of your Yankee
He
fitted.
won't let me.
Is
be.
that a ski man?
That is
It
a ski
is.
mask.
Shout out to Brooklyn Stick Up.
Make sure you got all your stuff.
It makes sure
I
you
know.
get it all.
Hold on, take
But you guys ready? Because I seen there was some cheating, some collusion going on last week
Spell it.
with the
What's that?
spelling test.
Spell it.
The collusion. We're talking about spelling test.
Yeah.
Collusion. There was some collusion going on. Because I was there. I was in live. But we're not gonna have that this week. This week, y'all ready?
We ready.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get it.
Word number 1.
Word number 1.
Tomorrow. They don't know how to spell tomorrow. Marcus.
TOMORROW.
TOMORROW.
I see a little scribble. What's the scribble
I
for?
scribbled and circled it.
Because you didn't know what you were doing.
No.
But tomorrow goes to both of you.
Thank you.
1-1.
Ding dang.
Number 2, Wednesday. Oh, look at this. As they write so vigorously, word after word, pen to paper.
Here we go.
I know I got it.
Wednesday. WEDNESDAY.
Wednesday. I got the same thing.
Let me see.
Spell it.
WEDNESDAY. Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday.
Okay, 2 for 2.
Okay, 2-2.
We're down. It is.
I've been practicing.
It is.
Yeah.
You can spell now.
Ah.
That system
Well,
ain't fail you back.
It was
back
actually
in,
you
Shop
who
Rack.
were questionable spelling at the beginning. So relax.
I actually won. I
last
beat
word?
you.
So last word, sudden death,
Yeah.
linguine.
Use it in a sentence.
Like linguine?
Yes.
like pasta.
Like a linguine noodle.
I think it's linguine.
It's actually
How about-
not. You've never actually
You
been
just got
anywhere.
back from. Where'd you just get back from?
Pittsburgh.
Not Italy, nigga.
I lived in Italy from 2008 to 2009. So
Little Italy downtown.
Prison took you there?
Okay.
Or was it downtown?
They got-
I just want to know if we're gonna
Alright.
spell these words. Look at you dropping stuff. Can't take him nowhere. Can't show him nothing nice.
I just bought a box of this. How do you say it?
Well, Marcus, how do you spell it?
L-I-N-G-I-N-E.
Okay.
Linguini.
Okay, both of you are wrong.
Oh, well.
It's linguine.
Pass me that box out the
Linguine. Linguine.
I really thought it was linguini.
Oh, I got it.
No, you didn't.
It looks
because you didn't. It might look like it, but I know it ain't. That's an I. That's the G
it.
connecting the I. There's no
G,
U. You would have
Put
had
that bullshit down. All right, you got a sudden death word?
Sudden death word. You ready? Anti-disestablishment Aryanism. Go.
That's not even how you say it.
Okay.
All right, so choose one more.
What's the word?
Locomotive. What you mean?
Locamotib.
All right, stop. You're wrong.
All right.
Is it locomotive?
It's just spelled it.
L-O-C-O. Motive. M-O-T-I-V-E.
Locomotive.
I'm the champion.
With your dumb ass.
Yeah.
Loca.
Ah.
Locomotive. Locomotive.
That's how you phonetically said it.
I'm like,
I said locomotive.
You didn't say
You
no
said-
goddamn
you
locomotive.
You said locomotion.
Right, yeah, exactly. You don't enunciate. Fuck out of here.
I love that.
Hey, congrats, sir.
Thank you.
Congrats.
You are the champion. You are the champion.
Congrats.
Thank y'all.
Now, let you know everybody's favorite moment.
Drink
Black boy joy moment. What happened this week? Something try to take your joy, give you joy. What was it, Jameer?
America.
Wow.
America tried to take my joy.
America trying to take.
But luckily, I already know
Mm-hmm.
how fucking crazy America is.
Sure
So I wasn't surprised.
Right.
But of course, you know, you see stuff in Charlottesville, Virginia, and you know, people are getting all riled up, and it's just like, well, we've
I
been.
seen
trying
one
to
white
say
girl on my timeline talking about, I'm going to Charlotte. And I said, oh, well, you gonna miss it.
Didn't you just say?
you gonna make, huh?
Didn't you just say you're going to North Carolina?
North Carolina, Charlotte. Yeah.
2 T's.
Thank you, spelling champ.
Oh yeah.
But you see on the news like all this shit that affects us.
My intelligent ass.
I'm trying to talk about
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
peaceful protests not turn so peaceful. But you see people try to steal our joy and our lives, and it's it's sad and it's unfortunate. But I'm not that I'm glad. Wake up. We've been saying this shit for years. Wake up.
Everybody.
And I'm glad people got a rude awakening because now it'll cause more people to be like, all right, black people was telling the truth. Like, y'all wasn't lying.
That's the
So
interesting
that's
take.
what stole your joy.
That they tried to steal my joy, but as resilient people as we are, we're gonna keep moving.
All right.
What about you, bro?
My black boy joy moment this week comes from, I guess, the same thing. Like, everything that's just happening in
Charlottesville,
Virginia. I didn't know much about it, and then I looked into it when I was out at dinner, just in between doing things, and that shit crazy. Yeah. That shit is crazy. The way that car hit the people. The part that really upset me was the black people that got killed.
You are such a
not that.
You are such a black person.
Not what do you mean?
Like you the way.
Like that's like skirt. Like no, but that's what that literally took my black boy joy away from me. Like that for that moment when I was looking at it, and I just think it's terrible. Like I don't know. Like it's just really it's fucked up, and it's there's no better way to say it. So that's why I stole my joy in between this week and last week. And what about you?
What gave me joy?
Yeah, bring some balance, please.
Yeah, because that right there, I'm not surprised.
You wouldn't have been depressed.
No, you would have, because I went to Pittsburgh. That tried to steal my joy.
And it would.
But what actually gave me joy this week is Michael Bennett and Marshawn Lynch.
Yes.
Just holding the if nobody knows. Obviously, there's Colin Kaepernick, which we will be streaming live from the rally next week, August 23rd, outside of NFL headquarters in New York City.
I'm very excited about that.
So if you can't make it, we will be there talking to the people. But as we know, Colin Kaepernick has been blackballed from the NFL due to his protest last year. And he has not committed a crime. He has had black people turn against him. And so this past week during the first games
of the
preseason. The first games of the preseason, Marshawn Lynch of the Oakland Raiders, whose jersey I just got in last week. So thank you guys for that.
Did they get us one?
He didn't send it. I bought it.
Did you buy this one?
You got money?
Right.
Anyway. And Michael Bennett.
About the same size.
I mean, no,
Go
okay.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Michael Bennett from the Seattle Seahawks, who actually passed on Colin Kaepernick, but this isn't a football. This isn't a sports show. Yeah, they sat down in protest. Now, Marshawn Lynch did say he just sat down because he felt like sitting down. I'm all for that. Sit down during any celebration of this country. And Michael Bennett just standing and doubling down on it, saying, I'm going to continue to sit this whole season, not just the preseason. So shout out to you guys. And these are two full-fledged superstars. So you can't say they're doing it for publicity because they already got the publicity. Yeah. So that brought me joy. Right. Oh, and also DX formed 20 years ago. So for 18 of those 20 years, I've been getting suspended for doing the crotch chop and telling people to suck it. We got to celebrate.
Yo, right? Triple X.
Yep.
No.
You're a nasty
Triple
guy.
H.
Triple H was his name.
You've been on that website again.
Yeah.
What's Triple X?
On your website?
Oh, that's a Triple X.
Yeah,
no,
you did.
Triple X.
Your
Triple
pop-ups.
X.
Yeah.
What your pop-ups would be like.
Yeah. Sloppy Joe's 32.
So,
well,
is that what you call it?
Another week, another topic.
Fucking H.
Last week we spoke. We all because I was in the group chat.
Yes.
So we spoke about compassion fatigue.
We did.
Super
Great topic.
Great topic.
Thank you so much.
Make sure you send us any of your questions to Black Boy Joy Show 123. Is it Black Boy Joy 123 or Black Boy Joy Show 123? Mm-hmm. Black Boy Joy Show 123 @gmail.com, or right there, right below, you can leave a question for this week's topic, and we will answer it either on air or in our new segments.
You can DM us.
Mm-hmm. But don't DM no nudes because we got families.
Don't send any nudes.
All right. But this week's topic, relax.
Okay.
This week's topic, you see me sitting in the front, so I bring this week's topic. This week's topic, I want to talk to everybody about rewiring. And just a quick little, synopsis of what I mean when I say rewiring. Is sometimes we realize that our parents, as great as they are and the pedestal we put them on, have raised us with some really fucked up outlooks, some really, I won't even say fucked up, some problematic ways, right? Like that made sense for raising your kids in the 90s, but not being an adult in the millennium. Mm-hmm. So, and whether that's an outlook on, homosexuality and trans and people of different sexual orientations, or whether it be racial outlooks, or whether it just be calling food the wrong name. Like for the longest, my mom had me calling
linguine.
Linguine. Linguine.
I don't know. I heard a few Italian people say.
You know you
linguine.
did. You never heard an Italian
I watched
say
enough
linguine.
Sopranos.
I'm gonna say I watched enough food channels.
To never heard linguine. Nobody ever said linguine. But so that's what I want to talk to you guys about.
Who
today.
know how to say it? That's a question. Somebody clear.
All our Italian friends.
All our Italian followers and our Italian viewers. Is it linguine or
linguine?
Linguine.
Say mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Say it.
Mozzarella.
No.
Mozzarella.
Okay. It's mozzarella.
Nigga, tomato. What do you say?
That has nothing to do with mozzarella.
You eat them together.
Okay.
Anyway,
you're a fancy one.
Back to this topic.
But yes, so rewiring. So I want to talk to you guys today about rewiring.
Yeah.
So what have you? I guess I'll ask you, Jameer. What have you had to rewire yourself? Or have you had to rewire yourself at all, if at all? And if you did, what have you had to rewire?
We talked about.
Get in trouble. Your
mama be watching.
You know your mama watching.
No. But we've actually had a conversation about church and how church has affected our lives individually. Mm-hmm. So that was something that was rewired, and which I really found interesting. We had a conversation a few years ago, and she thought the same thing. And I learned a lot about my mom. Like prior to that, she was a practicing Buddhist. And my grandmother raised in the Baptist church.
Wasn't having it.
Called the people, was like, my daughter ain't in no damn cult. Leave her alone, and I'm calling the feds.
She called the Buddhist people.
I was like, where you gonna call the feds? She's like, I'm calling the feds.
The people on the other side of the Chinese restaurant is sitting there like, where you want?
Oh no, you don't say that like that.
Okay.
You be sensitive. You don't say that like that.
That was my earliest introduction to Buddhism.
Oh boy. Okay, so my mom and I actually had a conversation. So, because she was brought back But back into
I caught the visual of your
baptism.
mom getting dragged back by your grandma. Get your ass back.
Right,
Get your ass on that altar when you get in there.
Christianity practices. We had a conversation, and I kind of felt more comfortable with saying that I didn't necessarily want to go to church all the time, but I still believed in God wholeheartedly. But the organized religion, I just had to fall back.
Going to
from.
church will make you want to go to hell. You got to be in church so much.
It's 7-day Adventist.
I'm very nervous about what's about to come out of Mouse's mouth next.
You gotta go. You gotta go
Exactly.
first.
I do.
Don't worry about me. Worry about you.
I'm worried about what his rewiring. What you rewire. Anyway,
Both of y'all really don't got no couth.
as far as what I've had to rewire, I've had to rewire a lot. Like my mom and dad, I didn't grow up in like a, hey, you have to go to church house or anything like that.
Lucky you.
It wasn't. I mean, I went with my grandma, but hey, love you, grandma. But more of the rewiring for me had to come in like with just like I guess the belief system, like what is praying. You know, who am I praying to?
Right.
Like, am I met? Like, it was just more so about. I had questions. It wasn't just so. It wasn't more rewiring to me. It was more, or it wasn't so much rewiring. It was more like clarification. Like, I didn't want to rewire. I just wanted to label every chord. I just wanted to know what's going. Like, I just had very specific ass questions. Like we did at like our conversation after the show last week. Like very specific questions that like ends in a conversation that we have to continue for weeks, but that's where I kind of rewired everything. So I would say I rewired like everything. I questioned everything, and except for like, you know, grocery shopping, I buy the shit I saw my mom and them buy. So
now there,
I'm not rewiring that. I'm not rewiring
outside of the pork and the red meat. I buy everything I see my mama buy.
And that's what we're gonna talk about next week. But good job.
Yeah, right.
All right,
what about you? What's your?
All right, time to scare you guys. Yeah, you ready?
Here we go.
No, when I guess it's two things, but I guess really when you look at the dichotomy and the paradigm of it all, it's really just one thing. Which one?
That was a big word.
No, it's really not.
The what?
Paradigm and dichotomy. These are simple. I wish I graduated high school so I wouldn't have like just because I didn't graduate high school don't mean I don't know words.
We don't think
just mean I didn't go to school.
We didn't think that.
All right, whatever. So I just looked dumb.
Triggered.
That's his trigger. Now we all know Mouse is triggered.
Triggered.
You know?
I don't have no triggers.
It's a trigger.
You can't turn
It's
me.
trigger.
You can only turn me on.
Anyway.
But
I can't.
But no, like I said, I guess when you break it down, it's all kind of wrapped up in one. My biggest outlook was kind of like with homosexuality and, you know, hypermasculinity in our community. That was really what I had to rewire and just really understanding that no one can emasculate you. No one can take your manhood away from you. Nothing you do as whoever you are.
Well, what does masculinity look like?
Well, right. Like we all, I won't say that much. I won't say that so much because it's like, I do have an outlook on what a man, like, all right, so you as my brother, even though you still a man,
Even
right?
what?
Because a gay man.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm just making sure.
About to bust your ass if you had double crossed him.
I thought he called me straight.
I would never.
No, I'm joking.
I would never call you straight. No straight.
No straight.
No straight.
Oh my god.
No hetero.
No hetero, yo. No hetero. Y'all wilding with that hetero stuff. Nah, but yeah, that's basically what it comes down to because it's like no one can really take your manhood. You know what I'm saying? Nothing I could do. If I wear lilies, if I wear pink, or if I hang out and talk and see, you know, that gay people are human beings and I enjoy being around this human being. That don't make me any less of a man. I mean, it doesn't make me any less of who I am. And it was just that whole rewiring. Problem. You get what I'm saying? Like, I remember, I love my dad. Nobody's going to tell me nothing about my dad. I love my dad. But I remember, you know, very real conversations and I was talking about, like, I don't care what you do, but if you come in this house with a boy, you're leaving with a bullet. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and that wasn't just him. You know, I would hear that from all my uncles, all my cousins. That was a very big thing. So it's like, to grow up.
Go ahead.
But to just grow up and be like, yo, because and that's why I say it kind of ties into it because then I would remember having to be dragged to church, and I love music, and everybody who is involved in music in the church, a lot of them are gay. Like I remember the first couple of times we listened to the read, I didn't want to let nobody know I listened to the read.
Because the gay guy was on.
Right, because it's a gay show, and it's like, man, shut up. Well, I'll slap shit out of one of y'all. Tell me I can't listen to what I want. You get what I'm saying?
But see, like I always struggle with that because I have an uncle that's gay, and
right.
Is my pop's brother, and you know, my family, because they're Caribbean and Panamanian, they kind of like outcasted him for a little bit. Like when they found out he was gay, he moved to San Francisco, and I always had a problem with that because no matter what, like he was a man,
right?
He was accountable for his actions,
right?
He was sturdy as far as the foundation.
I was Millie Rock.
I was finna say, was he
about to say
word? He was fucking sturdy with it.
He was sturdy as far as the foundation, what he brought to the family.
Okay.
Like,
and
you know,
Millie.
Probably very sturdy. But I always had a problem with that because I'm like, at the end of the day, he's a man. At the end of the day, he's a responsible man. And at the end of the day, he's always there for y'all. So for y'all to turn y'all backs on him, to me, that turned on the light that, okay, like, this shit ain't right. He the most responsible one out of all y'all, out of everybody. Right. And just because he's gay, that doesn't make him any less of a grown fucking man.
Right.
That's my uncle.
I think that I'm glad that you guys. I didn't want to be the guy to bring up the gay thing, but
why?
I think that just because like, but like I didn't grow up in a house. Like I'm so grateful, and I'm thankful for like my mom and like the community that raised me.
Thank you, Mama Ivory.
Like I didn't grow up having to feel like. I mean, of course, we're all around people that's talking shit about gay people and fact this or whatever. But in the crib at home, I was never uncomfortable. I mean, I have older brothers and sisters, and we get into they might talk shit, but I was never put into a place where I felt like I couldn't be myself, or I had to fake like I was someone else, or rewire, or act different, or you know what I'm saying. I was always able to be me and who I am and express myself, and like my mom would put me in programs and all types of art programs and pottery and this and that, and blah blah blah, but like. Through those programs and just like them just letting me be me, I found myself in my own voice, and it wasn't, like made up. It wasn't fake because like it was me. It was genuine. It wasn't what I thought I should be based on what everybody else's conversation and their opinion was about who I knew I was. Like early on, like I didn't have to find out I was gay. I already knew. I wasn't molested and no shit like that, or nothing crazy or anything really traumatic or devastated happening to me that altered my sexual. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Orientation. Like it just is what it is. Like, and I told my mom and my dad that, and they're like, they're cool with it. My brothers are cool with it. My nieces and nephews are like, you don't have a choice to be. You know what I'm saying?
It's
because
2017.
it's so much more.
And then you're gonna be you at the end
but
of the day.
Aside from that, it's so much more. There's so many other great things about me besides like who I would want to sleep with. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's such a small part.
That's a part that should not matter.
That don't even matter, and that really, if I ain't trying to sleep with you, you shouldn't even know about. You know what I mean?
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's
People
the problem.
put everything like this. I mean, I get everything
like
is super sexual and this and that, but I think that America needs to rewire their whole. Perception on what like gay is and what it looks like, because like I was having a conversation with a gentleman, one of my homies like last week, a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about like just like the gay that America's like to see. Like America, like I consider myself like a cool gay. Like I'm not like
so like they want to see like the flamboyant.
They want to see like the super like over the top, which are great people cool nonetheless. Gay. But just that's the gay that they like relate all gay people to. They put all gay people in one box.
Like
super
flamboyant,
hypersexual, super hypersexual, sleep with anybody, think every guy's hot or whatever, girl, and anything. It's just, and that ain't it, But
like, they don't want you.
That's where the rewiring needs to come in from. Like I think. The whole thing, but
so like two quick because we trying to wrap up.
So
two quick things I want.
You can't keep introducing these deep topics and trying to get
This is what we're here for.
You have to do it after the show.
Like Jameer said, Black Boy Joy is therapy.
Yes,
therapy for the soul.
I feel like this was my session.
So the two things I want to make sure we touch on before we get out of here. Number one, what really brought this topic up for me and made me think about it is because. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of rewiring that, you think about you'll have to do growing up to being an adult to be able to live in 2017. So one of them was, the thing that really made it pertinent for me, like I definitely want to talk about this, is Bootsy, Lil Bootsy, Bootsy Badass, Bad Fade Bootsy, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, him. He said, he posted a picture of his son. And he was talking about, happy birthday, son, blah, blah, blah. I got a bad bitch to suck your dick for you.
14.
14. Now, me personally, I ain't seen no real problem with that.
I did.
But what if he doesn't like girls?
I'm pretty sure this kid likes girls.
I'm just,
Like, it didn't look like he was full. But, you know, that's a whole nother topic in itself if he didn't. But I'm just saying, this promotion of, the promotion of hypersexuality.
That's a problem.
Like, that's some rewiring that I'm guessing Bootsy may need to do. Or some, I don't, now me personally, if it's happening in a safe space, because just much like, I'm pretty sure growing up, we all ran into parents or friends of ours that had parents that let them drink in a controlled environment, let them maybe smoke. I might be going a little too far with the smoking, but I definitely know kids that were drinking. I definitely knew kids our age that was drinking around their parents, because the parents were like, hey, they're going to do it somewhere, why not do it?
Right.
That's kind of like what Bootsy was saying. Like, hey, if I get her to suck,
Well, one thing, to be honest,
as a GameCube or something. What if he wanted another?
Well, if he wanted a GameCube in 2017, that's a problem.
Like, we still promoting hypersexuality,
right?
Which is a problem that we have, because in turn it turns into hypermasculinity within black men. Like, I used to grow up thinking that I had to get a certain number of bodies in order to appease myself and become a man. Like, I thought that's what manhood was, being a sexual conqueror of women. And
it's
when
not?
No, it's not.
Now you're playing. It's not. Playing.
You realize how many losers is out there still trying to, like, you 40, 50 trying to catch bodies.
But your body count up.
Yeah, and so is your chlamydia count. Like, and who want that?
Your bank account is low.
Exactly.
Why is it low?
And your detrocycline pills are high.
Not if you doing it the right way, it ain't low.
Look, my thing is, fucking never made me a man.
Okay.
All right? And I don't think it makes anybody else a man either. Or a woman for that matter. Like, your body count doesn't determine how masculine you are. And I wish people would stop. That's something rewiring that I feel like we need to do. That don't matter.
I think before we end the show, we should all say one thing that we think somebody should rewire.
Well, that's what
that was your
up top.
I'm sorry. See, that's my
synergy.
I felt the same thing.
But to that point, how did you feel about that, dude?
No, I agree. Like, I think that, and I'm pretty sure that we're not the only ones that feel this way. But like, a lot of young men are troubled because they have this thing in their brain, or this perception of how they think what they think a man is and how a man acts. Or they don't have like great men role models in their lives. You know what I mean? And they might think that I gotta have 15 bodies by the time I'm, you know what I mean, or X amount or whatever. But or all of these personal mandates on what it means to them to be a man. It can be from what they've heard or whatever. Like that, I agree. Like, and I have young nephews and nieces and shit that's like in that age group where they're very easily the oppression.
Yep. Well, I was conflicted on it, and just for 2.5 reasons, right? The one reason was because I seen myself in that, right? I don't have sons. I got daughters, so obviously it's a little different. But I do have, little cousins that look up to me. And the first thing I do when I see them, I be like, they in high school. When they got to high school, I was like, you ain't getting no pussy. You ain't getting no pussy. What you doing? You ain't getting no pussy.
You're too young to be that old.
No, I'm not. I'm a few years older. I want to make sure they get. Listen, I left a legacy behind in them neighborhoods, so you gotta catch up. But then I was like, so I'm like, man, it ain't no different than what I do with my little cousin. I literally, when I seen that, I had to look at my group chat, because we got a family group chat, and I was just teasing my little cousin about that before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how you not getting no pussy? What's up with you?
Are you gonna rewire that?
Here goes my thing. The only reason I thought about maybe rewiring it is for two reasons. One, how would that look if we did that with our daughters? Right, I got 2 daughters. I would never say, yo,
yes, you 16, you 16,
bust that pussy,
you busting it open.
16, I'm gonna bring the nigga to bust his pussy.
Where the girth at?
I'm gonna watch him.
Where's the girth?
I'm in there.
Plan B.
Girth
on the countertop.
Right. So that was number 1. Then number 2, I know y'all gonna say, oh, it's the gauge in this. Eat a dick. But how would the reaction be if that was a gay man? Because, they do adopt children. If a gay man had his son and was like, oh, I got a boy for you. Imagine the outrage. No, I'm just saying, no, I get that. I know that. Just like we wouldn't do it with our daughters. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he did do that, it would be outrage. It would be outrage. People would be, what? Stop letting them. Absolutely. So that's when I was like, maybe.
It might be even bigger than,
sure.
It might even,
especially in America.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
Which is my only thing. That's the only reason.
You would leave out how many Bibles will be on your doorstep?
So that's the only reason I thought. That's the only reason. You walk into the supermarket.
I'm walking around. Niggas
You just hit me with
a good word.
With a mini Bible.
With the KJV.
Right.
KJV. You take this back. But no. So that's what I think about, and that's what's the only reason I began to say maybe we may need some rewiring when it comes to that is because if the shoes, that's how I look at things. If the shoes on the other foot, if we don't react the same, then maybe it is worth the conversation. I'm not saying maybe we need to change it, but maybe it's worth the conversation. And the very, very last point is if, like Mark's point, the only question I want to know, if there was something you have to rewire, what is it?
I think it's just my thoughts on relationship. I wasn't around a lot of positive marital relationships. Mm-hmm. So before I get married, I definitely want to do therapy and just sit down with my partner and go over shit that I feel like my mom or my other family members didn't have a chance to talk about at that point in time. So, I want to be one and done. Like, that's the hope. Right. If I get married, it's one and done.
Right.
I ain't trying to have 4-5, So, one and done. So, I'm talking about marriage.
Oh, you talking about kids?
I'm talking about being married, one and done.
Oh, yeah. So take your look back.
Right. Oh. So that's me.
Take that back to Shadyville.
It's definitely relationships is what I'm trying to rewire.
Rewire relationships.
What about you, bro?
I would rewire just the perception and really just the perception of like the gay guy, or just
they're gonna say they're gonna say Mouse and Marcus with this gay agenda shit.
No, but like it
don't matter. Tell them eat a dick.
Like eat a dick. Like it's not like no. But no, I would rewire just America's like perception on like what it like, just this whole gay thing, and it's cooler than people think. And if if gay people was given all the credit like that they deserve, it'll change a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to be on this whole like this movement or anything. That's just one of the things that I rewire. I have a list of things. That's just closer to the top.
Right.
Right.
What about you?
It would probably be what we just spoke about. Just to look at that last part of the hypermasculinity. I feel like I got everything rewired and handled when it comes to hypermasculinity, but that part.
Right. Yeah.
Where it's like, damn, I want to see my little cousin. I want to know he's out here getting pussy. I want to.
What if he ain't on that? Like,
right. But and that's why I said I need to rewire, because that would bother me. He's dope at photography. My little cousin, he's dope at photography. But I'd be like, yo, put the camera down, get some pussy.
Photograph some pussy.
Don't, because y'all kids, you're going to jail.
In due time
right. So I would
let them manifest.
And if it was just America, as usual, I would like to see the rewiring of America to view the black man as an actual human being. But
of course, not
3/5. That's a long head of that.
Question.
We'll open up the floor for some questions. You got any questions?
I'm on questions.
Any questions? Go, question. Go.
Let's see.
Scroll.
Nene, what we got?
All right. Any questions?
That's in the Facebook. We in the Facebook. Instagram, y'all got any questions? Who's checking the Instagram? Anybody checking the Instagram? The Griznam?
Well, we don't have any questions yet. I mean, I think I see one question.
So y'all don't want to ask no questions? That's how y'all feel?
Y'all scared.
How do you deal with Nola?
Who's that coming from?
From Instagram. Nola.Nicole said, how do you deal with homophobic men while dating?
How do you deal with
She has to fit. So you're asking specifically Marcus, or you're saying how would you deal with him running into a man who's homophobic
while dating? I think that's maybe Marcus.
No, she might be saying.
Yeah, I think she's saying if she meets a guy
that's homophobic,
she's dating. She meets a guy that's homophobic. Sense. Well, I would say if you have a lot of that, you must have a lot of like gay friends, or you like hang around gay people. Or you work around a lot of gay people where it would matter. Otherwise, if you don't have a lot of gay people in your life, why does it matter if the person that you're dating is homophobic or not?
I think it's problematic.
It can be problematic.
I think because the thing about homophobia, it's not just homophobia. It's layered in xenophobia, terrible outlooks on race.
Arachnophobia?
Maybe, but everybody should be scared of spiders.
Claustrophobia?
But it's just any...
Close spaces.
Here goes the thing about homophobia and hypermasculinity are like this. Right, you're only scared of, or you only have this problem or this problematic outlook on gay men because you are somehow fearful that it will affect your masculinity.
Yep.
So that's going to trickle down into every.
Is that how you felt?
I didn't. I wasn't
Wait, we got-
homophobic.
wait,
it
we-
was just
Let's just answer the question
right.
first, because we.
Right. You be so deep. But yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. I feel if you are dating someone who is homophobic, that is just one view into the microcosm of everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
With
I
him.
think it's problematic, like you said, because I have a lot of friends who are Caribbean, and in the Caribbean community, out in the open is frowned upon. I don't know how it is,
Which I
behind
don't
closed
get
doors.
because they dread. Never
Yes, but
mind. I said never mind.
okay, but you have a lot of people who don't want their kids to be gay or don't want their kids to be exposed to it, and they cast them out.
Which is y'all problematic
What is-
too. Y'all people that be out there that be talking about, oh, I don't have no problem with gay people, da da da. But my kid can't be gay.
Right.
You problematic as well.
Yeah. It's at that point you're letting the open space for hate. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, yo,
Yeah.
my kid can't be gay. I don't got a problem with you. But if my kid was gay, I would disown him. So that means I'm only cool with you towards arm's length. Like, if you my brother, regardless. And so I think we have to change that ideology. It's like, all right, there's always a chance that somebody gonna be gay.
There are 100%
Love your people.
more
I'm so-
things wrong.
I
with
like
being
y'all more
gay.
today.
You like
I feel so much love from y'all today. Like y'all, like we became closer brothers.
Bro, I
today.
love you.
So what were we
You
last?
got a question?
You wasn't
Yeah.
here last week.
Okay.
Two more questions.
Yeah.
One is from Tuvia. She said,
Tuvia, what up, PSA?
What up, PSA?
what are some things that you've been wired with that you want to make sure your children do not inherit?
Ooh, that was good, Tuvia.
You know what's a good one? I
gotta
think
think about that.
not from my parents. My parents taught me about like self-righteousness, black people, and everything is as far as who we are as a people. But I definitely think in a world of media where media runs things, I wanna get into my kids' minds from the inception, like my mom did for me. Black posters all over.
conception.
From the conception.
Concept.
From the concept.
What? Hands off.
From the conception, I want to make sure that my kids have an identity of rich black culture.
Yeah.
That way the media can't even spin them, so they won't go, Daddy, I think I'm ugly, or Daddy, my
Am I
hair,
too dark?
am I too dark? My hair is coarse, is different. I don't ever want to have my kids feel that way because somebody teased them about that in school. When I have kids, I want them to already know, like, yo, you come from a very rich history, a prosperous black people.
So you don't
So
give a damn about that list. You gonna get those S words.
you know I gotta get them. Prosperous. Y'all motherfuckers haters.
He's got all of them. What about you, Mom?
Fuck y'all. That was a good answer though, right,
Good
Robert?
question.
It was.
That was a good answer. Thank you.
Stop talking to Robert. Wow. Okay. Just cut Marcus off. Marcus don't want kids.
Well, no, like I mean, I really don't want kids, so I can't answer that question. Like, so I'm not
That's
gonna
it.
answer that question.
And then I guess with me, I just want to make sure that unlike what my parents did with me, did a great job. I mean, you might not be able to tell, but they did a great job. But they were not really understanding of nuance, right? They kind of like brushed every kid with the same stroke and just was like, the way I was raised is gonna work for y'all.
Yeah.
Like my parents really didn't. They did as much as they could, but they really didn't pour into the creativity, right? They because it was something they weren't used to. They were used to, okay, I go to school, do good in school, graduate, get a job. They weren't used to what you want to do this and you want to be in TV and so I don't ever want my kids to look at their dream as too big.
Right.
So hopefully I could get that into them. This week's thank you for your questions, and if you got any more questions, email them to blackboyjoyshow123@gmail.com, and we will answer it and put a nice little boom with the pictures and the music and all that nice stuff. This week's wellness segment, be better. That's it. It's very. That's what I want y'all to do. Be better. Be a better human being. Be better friends. Be better. Just be better human beings. Then the rest will trickle down.
That was nice.
Do my best.
pretty.
Do my best. And this episode or this show is brought to you by Esteem Supreme Products. You can find that at esteemsupremeproducts.com. sassbox.com.
And Wealthy Images.
And who? Wealthy Images.
Go Robert.
Yes.